Hey there, welcome to or welcome back to No Pants Profits. My name is Richard and I'm here today with Kirsten, and we are on the Celebrity Reflection. Now, this is actually Kirsten's first celebrity cruise, and I've taken Kirsten on the Horizon from Carnival, taken her on this ship. Probably going to take her on MSC and maybe Yacht Club. You might get to, if you play your cards right. Should we 10 comments, take Kirsten on Yacht Club. No, I'm saying, she plays her cards right. She might be able to go on Yacht Club, but I asked Kirsten, I said, what is your favorite cruise line? Now, she likes Carnival because she thinks there's a cute guy who works in the piano bar and everything like that. I'm sorry. That's the reality. I think he's gay. But that's besides the point. But I asked her, what's her favorite cruise line? And what'd you say?
Norwegian Cruise Line.
Norwegian Cruise Line. Now, again, it's your first time on Celebrity. We are halfway through the cruise. I think now is the official halfway point, day 3.5. We're in Falmouth, Jamaica today. But my experience with Norwegian has not been so great. The last Norwegian ship I was on was before I started ever even actually working for Celebrity back in the day. It's called the Norwegian Epic. It's known in the industry as the Epic Fail. But have you been on any of the newer Norwegian ships? Or you just do the older ones?
I do whatever's on sale.
She does whatever's on sale. Okay.
And I'm going to be on the Bliss this next year, 2024.
So I just want to let you guys know that Norwegian has a cruise ship called the Bliss, but Bliss Cruises is not something you ever want to look for. Do you know what that is?
Oh, geez. What are you going to teach me now?
Bliss Cruises is a swingers cruise. And what's so funny is they actually did it on board this ship. This was a swinging ship in its second year of operation for one cruise. So look up Norwegian Bliss, but please, for the love of God, unless you're into it, don't look up Bliss Cruises. But I don't have much experience with recent Norwegian. I will tell you, my experience with recent Celebrity, and this is in November of 2023, Celebrity seems to have stagnated since this ship was built. Same shows, same drinks, same everything, since day one. They've not innovated, they've not changed anything. They put Starlink on the ship and the internet got worse. But I want you to talk about Norwegian. I'm not going to interrupt anymore unless I want to ask some questions. I like to interrupt, sorry.
Sure.
Face. So go ahead, Kirsten.
So I like Norwegian Cruise Line the best, and the reason I feel is probably for the activities that they actually have on the ship and the daily planner of what's going on. I feel like there is a pretty good offering of things that I'm interested in that are sprinkled throughout the day. Usually on a Norwegian cruise, I start my day with maybe some breakfast at 8 and then trivia at 9. On this ship though, the first trivia is not until 10:15 a.m. and then they do
you like to do, I'm not trying to interrupt, before the 10 a.m., I don't get up till noon. So before the 10 a.m., she's been going to exercise class at 7 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. I mean, I want you to kind of compare and contrast both days, and I think we're primarily, correct me if I'm wrong, talking about a sea day, because I think that's the fairest thing, is a sea day on this ship, which we had yesterday, versus a sea day on Norwegian.
I mean, I can try to make it that precise, but I'm thinking more
ballpark. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want people to know when things start.
I do like the exercise class, that the 7 a.m. stretch that happens on this ship. It's only 20 minutes. It's not too intense. It makes me realize I need to stretch muscles I didn't already have.
Okay.
Norwegian has something comparable as well. I like them both, so no one's really a winner there, but they both get a thumbs up for their offering. I can see here on Celebrity there tends to be a little bit of an older crowd, which is fine. And the generations. You know my favorite game to play? What?
I've actually played this game on that sofa right over there.
Guess who goes to Jesus next?
Guess who? It's called Sleeping or Dead. Pretty much, you find an old person that's like this. Hey, if I go like this, I don't care. They'll just be like this, and then someone in the crew has to go up and poke them and see if they're alive or just sleeping. You know how you lose Sleeping or Dead?
Why?
When they're dead.
Oh, geez.
Because then you got to call someone to move the body.
Oh, my God.
I've lost it 4 times working for this company. But continuing on.
So there is an older crowd on this ship, and that's okay. They play a lot of 50s, 60s, and 70s music. Now, I love 60s and 70s music. That's my favorite time period for music. But I can see how if another person in there in their 30s were on this ship, they might want to hear more like of the Billboard Top 40 or something.
And I think I had an experience on the first night that was similar to that. People were looking for the nightclub on this ship, and it says X Club. So I got a whole bunch of young people that are looking for the nightclub, and they're like 30-year-old, and they got their bottles of beer and everything, and they're about to storm the X Club, and I had to tell them that's the teens program. Celebrity really needs to think about that a little bit. Like, at least on Norwegian, the nightclub is clearly labeled, right?
Yes. And Norwegian typically has both a nightclub and a piano bar. I'm definitely missing the piano bar on this ship.
The closest thing they have here, I walked you by it once. Mm-hmm. You haven't actually seen it in action yet. I'm not saying it's good in action, is the Ensemble Lounge. We don't even go back that way. It's like Bruno. We don't talk about Ensemble Lounge. Oh, that doesn't really work. But yeah, so piano bar.
Yes, and so I normally would start my day on Norwegian with going to like breakfast and trivia, and then there's usually other games that are mixed in throughout the day. I don't really see as many games happening. There's more gatherings happening on this ship.
Okay.
It's a lot quieter of an atmosphere, which is, a plus if you're looking for that. If you're looking for other younger people to connect with, I would recommend something like Norwegian or MSC.
Yeah, I mean, we
instead.
had you took a nap the first night because you were still jet lagged, but I went to a singles mixer on this ship the first night. I was the only one under 70.
Oh, wow.
There was a whole bunch of widows looking for a new sugar daddy, but I was the only one under 70 at the singles mixer.
But so this is supposed to be a premium cruise line, and I can see how some people might be willing to pay a premium to hang out with other people who are willing to pay that premium, who are like them, maybe in the same age group, maybe enjoying the same music and not wanting any children around or any of the newer music
when
around.
When you're saying premium, I guess here's the loaded question. I know Norwegian's prices and Celebrity's prices recently have become pretty comparable. I don't know if you, again, inside cabin, specials, deals, you can get those on all the lines if you look at the right cruises. If you were to compare like the main dining room food, we did a specialty restaurant on the first night. I'd say meh. We did main dining room the last 2 nights. How would you compare that to Norwegian? I haven't been on Norwegian, so I can't compare it.
I don't do the specialty restaurants on Norwegian.
Right.
I always do the main dining room, and I have been satisfied with the food on both of these cruise lines. I know on Norwegian, usually on their formal night, they offer like a surf and turf. And
that should be on the second formal night here.
Okay, and if you want like a second lobster tail, you can definitely ask for one. I'm guessing that they'll do something similar
we'll
here.
have lobster. We'll have lobster on the next formal night, which will probably be Cozumel night.
Okay.
So.
And so as my day would progress on Norwegian, I would play games throughout the day. I would go have some lunch on the ship, walk around if we're out of port, or if I have an excursion. I typically don't get my excursions through the ship, but that can be another
I have a Norwegian question.
Video. Yes.
So this is something we haven't talked about before, but I think it's something that we've seen. After 1:30 when the buffet closes, is there anything other than just the crappy hamburger hot dog stand like there is here on Norwegian? Or like, is there more food options? Is it less of a food desert on Norwegian?
There's more options. There's usually like an Irish pub that's open for
for the 24-hour-a-day place.
Yeah, there's usually that.
And they have that on the older. They have that. I don't mean the older ships in a negative way, but they have that on the ships you normally go on, not just the brand new ones. And they still have the 24-hour-a-day hands. I like that. When I sailed Norwegian back in the day, I sailed Norwegian like in my 20s, early 20s was the last time I sailed Norwegian. Literally a week before I started working for Celebrity, I sailed on the Epic. And my favorite thing was hands, because you can go out, you can get sauced, you can do these drinking challenges, and you finish at 2, 3 in the morning when the casino closes. There's always some place on Norwegian for you to get some food. If you don't get pizza here by 1 o'clock in the morning, you ever heard SOLTF? Shit out of luck and totally, I can't say the bad word. Yeah, if you don't get pizza here by 1 a.m., there's nothing.
I'm typically asleep, but I know a lot of other people in my age group would not be.
Hey, Kirsten, if the piano bar was open till 2, would you be awake till 2 every night?
No, I'll go to bed by midnight.
I don't know about that. Okay.
So my favorite thing about the daily activities on Norwegian is that I can go to dinner when the doors open, which is typically around 5:30 or 6.
Hey, should we try that? Should we try that tonight, just for giggles?
We could.
Oh no, you don't want to do that.
Aw.
Oh, it's dinner at the senior center.
I like to say on Norwegian, I'll say that I'm happy to share at the dining room, and then they'll put me with other people. I think that they might do that here too, though.
I don't behave well enough to be with other people for over an hour.
Yes. So I like to meet the other people, and then I am done with dinner usually by 7. There's usually a 7 o'clock show, and then there's an 8 o'clock like game show. It's usually like Perfect Couple, which I did get Perfect Couple on my honeymoon with Jason out in Hawaii. I also
You were on
really
Pride
like.
of America?
Yes, I was on Pride of
Oh
America.
God, I've heard such terrible things about that cruise.
I loved Pride of America so much. I did it once for one friend's wedding, and then I did it for my
So you were the first person. Like my family went on Pride of America.
honeymoon.
My family went on Pride of America and hated it. Like, because it's all Americans and I don't know.
I think that Pride of America is great because it's the only cruise that departs and terminates in
Hawaii.
Honolulu, and all the other cruise lines, they're either coming from like Vancouver or
And you have all
Los
the sea days out,
Angeles
so you
or-
lose that time.
exactly.
You might as well just fly there.
Yeah, so it's really efficient to do Pride of America, and it's your hotel, your entertainment, your transportation to 4 different islands.
And you got a good price on it?
Yeah. And then of course when I go on these cruises, I am flexible enough with my time that I just look at the calendar and look at whenever is going to be the cheapest week to do it.
Right.
And then I plan right around that.
So you might go in like January.
Yeah, I usually go on the shoulder of like the season is opening or the
January,
season is
January,
closing.
February is like for most cruising. That's the sleepy time. January, February, then it comes back in March for spring break and stuff like that.
I really do like, though, the routine that I get in on Norwegian, where I have my happy to share dinner, and then whatever the show is, like the production show of the evening,
Speaking of that, we haven't
and
had
then
any on this ship.
and then the game.
We haven't had any production shows this sailing, and I think it's because they're doing a cast change right now. They did a Broadway cabaret last night. Not into that. One of the weirdest things that's going on this sailing is they have the same main stage person that's on twice. So she was on the first night, and she's on tonight, which is the 4th night. I haven't seen that before unless like an entertainer misses or something. But to have the same, I mean, it's different material, but you know, it's the same entertainer twice headlining. So I know Norwegian has, even on their older ships, they bring in some big shows like Blue Man and stuff like that. Don't they have they have the standard production show for cruise ships, but they also have something they've licensed in, correct, on all their
Yes.
ships?
Yeah,
So-
like I've seen Kinky Boots in Chicago on,
Right,
on
okay.
cruise ships. Yeah.
Well, Chicago's Royal Caribbean.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I saw
Yeah,
it
Chicago's
there.
Royal Caribbean.
I cruise so much.
I know. Chicago's next door. It's one of the seas. I think it's actually Symphony that's right next door. Symphony or Oasis has Chicago on it.
That's our daily neighbor.
Yeah, that is our daily neighbor because these, I guess, it's Royal Caribbean Celebrity. They get parking for buy one, get one half off or something.
So I think, though, that the thing I would really want to share with people is that if you're considering splurging extra money because you think that celebrity is like a higher value, like that you're going to get like a higher luxury from it, I do see like these little luxury things here and there, like
You mean
having
like our berry smash that didn't have berries in it?
yeah, or having like pineapple water and orange water to choose from at the gym, and having the headphones and the cold towels, like all of those things
Those
are
don't
like
exist on Norwegian.
yeah, all of those things are nice little touches, but that's the kind of thing that's making this ship more luxurious, is just those little things. And to a value cruiser like me, I'm not going to look for those things.
So overall, I mean,
Overall, Norwegian is
yeah,
best
I was gonna
value.
say, but I mean, if these cruises were both the same price, same gratuities, same everything, you'd choose Norwegian every time, correct?
Because I prefer the activity schedule, and I think that all other things are equal, like the food and stuff.
So you think the food is equal? You think the drinks are equal? You think all that's kind of equal?
I'm
overall?
not a big drinker on the ships, just with you.
Yeah, no. I didn't say it. What do they say? Admitting it is the first step. You never want to admit it. But if you've got any questions about Norwegian, I think Kirsten is going to be getting one of these fancy cameras herself, and when she goes on her next Norwegian cruise, she's going to take a bit of a different approach than I do. There's no reason for us to compete, plus I'm not going on Norwegian because I have even more feelings about Norwegian than you do, especially like I sail as a casino guest a lot of the time. Yeah, all the time. I haven't paid for a cruise in like 3-4 years, but Norwegian wants you to pay like thousands of dollars up front as a casino guest just to sail for free on their cruises.
See, and I don't really do the drinking or the casino. I go ahead and just pay for my cruises, but I've also got all of my loyalty with Norwegian. I'm platinum with them, so I get like a behind the scenes thing and a extra dinner thing that I just have started qualifying for recently, and
I'm platinum with Carnival. So I'm actually going to make a video where you will lead a little bit more, where I'm going to talk about the same thing you did, but with Carnival. And definitely, I think these will both come out about the same time, maybe a day or so from each other. So, if you're considering, what we're talking about right now is Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and Carnival are the 3 public companies in the cruising space. By public companies, I mean publicly traded companies. Yeah, you got Disney in there, but it's such an infinitesimal part of their business. Cruising is, it's not infinitesimal. It's like 3 or 4%. 3 or 4% of their company is cruising. That's nothing in the scheme of things. But you really want to compare the big boys. And what I think Kirsten's trying to tell you is value for the money. And we're talking inside cabins. We didn't actually talk about, you'd say the cabins are pretty negligible?
Yep.
Except for the bathroom's bigger here. You had a reaction.
The bathroom on Celebrity has been more beautiful than any other bathroom I've seen on a cruise line.
Now, she does inside cabins a lot of the time, and that changes the layout of the bathroom a lot of the time. But I do agree. It's a huge bathroom. There's plenty of room for activities. I was on a phone call earlier. She hid out in the bathroom. But
he's loud. And
I'm very loud.
He likes the sound of his own voice.
Do you like the sound?
I have good hearing.
She has good hearing. Yeah. I'm loud. I like the sound of my own voice. She was held up in the bathroom. But that's an idea. Now, we are going to be doing in a few days a full ship tour where you can talk about specific areas and how they relate to, what you're used to on Norwegian and things like that. And I think that'll be an interesting perspective because I'm going to relate it to how it hasn't changed over the years and how Carnival has different areas. Norwegian doesn't have grass on their deck, do they?
No.
So, that's a difference. But we're not going to talk about that now. We're going to talk about that on the full ship tour. So this is Richard and
Kirsten.
Coming to you from the lobby of the Celebrity Reflection and kind of comparing and contrasting why Kirsten believes, again, this is all opinion, don't sue me, bro, why Kirsten believes that Norwegian is a better value overall.
It is the superior line.
It is the superior product, and what's interesting is Norwegian is not priced as a premium line.
Correct.
Norwegian is actually priced as an entry line. This is priced as a premium line. Now, would you put Norwegian and Royal Caribbean at the same, or you haven't sailed Royal Caribbean enough?
I like Royal Caribbean less, and I feel like they have the oldest crowd. I say that is a nurse.
Did you say older than this?
It's like a nursing home on water. I'm like the only person without white hair.
Really?
Yeah, I did see the line though for the people in line to get back on Symphony of the Seas.
But you've never done Oasis class, have you?
No, I actually did. I did Allure of the Seas back in like 2012, and that had a younger crowd. But whenever I get like a 3 or 4 day cruise that's like a real value cruise, just trying to go somewhere out of Tampa, the crowd seems to be really elderly.
On Royal?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So again, this is Richard and
Kirsten
from No Pants Profits, reminding you that I guess when you choose between Celebrity and Norwegian, Kirsten says you should choose Norwegian because when you choose Norwegian, the only thing you have left to lose is
your shirt.
I guess we got that line right. Have a great one.